the Week 5 Madden Gods weekly recap. I'm your host. We're going to be rocking first with the game of the week, Jags versus Panthers. Once again, before we jump into it, just want to say super pleased with how everything's been going, man. Y'all been super active. A lot of good games being played, and got a bunch of info for y'all this week. This podcast is going to be a little bit longer because we got an interview to do, and we're going to go over defensive, offensive stats, as well as player of the week. So Peanut Goose is online right now. I'm about to go ahead and bring him over. Jags, you got your mic on?
Yeah, it was good.
What's good with you, Playboy? All right, so we gotta talk about this Carolina game. So y'all were game of the week, man. You fell down 13-0 in the first quarter. What was it looking too hot? You came back second quarter, put up 17 points, and was able to maintain that lead throughout the game. 250 yards of passing, 181 yards of rushing, 325 total offensive yards, and 7 turnovers. So talk to us about how you were able to pull that off last week.
Man, that shit was crazy, to be honest. I really don't know. Like you said, I was down 13-0 till I think I like less than 2 minutes in the fourth, and I came back and I started scoring points quick, turned it into, I think it was 14-13 like that or something like that. And then I got, like you said, once I got the lead, I didn't hold it. He kept, honestly folded a little bit at the end, but I mean, I came back and won. You know, my user skills at the end came in.
Absolutely. And user skills is always going to be what's going to help you pull away. Panthers got a tough team, man. But with that win, you're going to be moving on to 5-0. What's your season goals, man? You going for the bowl? You trying to make playoffs? You trying to go undefeated?
I'm trying to win every game from here on out, man. I'm trying to win the bowl. Trying to win MVP. The reason I want to win is because I got Nick Foles at QB. I know I'm gonna hurt a couple people's feelings if I win MVP with Nick Foles.
Jesus, this man is spitting straight facts. If Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick, heads back to the bowl, man, that's going to...
Big Dick Nick comes in, wins the Super Bowl MVP, wins the MVP, it's done. It's a wrap. I'm going to retire, bro. That's it.
Yeah, I will be retiring too. So tell me about some highlight games, man. Like, who do you think, out of the 5 games you play, what are some of the users that have given you a problem? Aside from Carolina.
Let me go see the games I played. Okay. Titans wasn't bad. His was pretty good. That game was pretty good too. That was a close one. I think that was kind of like the same. Like, yeah, I couldn't run the ball, couldn't really pass the ball, but like I said, my defensive skills are just there. So my team, I think I got a couple user picks. Let me see. Yeah, I know I had a user pick with Miles Jack, Telvin Smith. I knew Ramsey came in at the end, caught a game-sealing pick. That was a pretty close one. I think I was going by like 3.
Ramsey is a game changer, man. He locks down a whole side of the field. Like you're not throwing on that guy unless they blitz Ramsey.
Yeah, but that's how I like him, man.
Yeah, he's a dog. But jumping into Nick Foles, man, kind of looked rough in the beginning. Threw 6 picks. Got sacked 3 times, but he did throw for 202 yards and a TD, and that was enough to do it. Cam Newton had a really good game, 93.3 passer rating, 254 yards, 3 TDs and 5 picks. Let's jump into this rushing game.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro, because I would get down there with Nick, and then it happened twice on 2 interceptions. I was looking at the guy, but my finger hit the wrong button. I know that happens to everybody out there, but...
You ain't lying.
Drive down, boom, hit the wrong button. I was like, as soon as I threw it, pick, knew it.
Yeah,
and then having Bobby and Luke on the same team, that's deadly.
Super deadly. Yeah, that middle of the field for Carolina is super legit. Artis Payne, he had 9 attempts for 78 yards. He was averaging 8.7 yards a carry.
That dude would touch the ball. Every time he touched the ball, he gained like 10 yards. Every time he take him out, I'm like, I bet.
Yeah, that dude's legit. Fournette was averaging 4.3 yards a carry. That's still pretty good. He attempted 14 times and had a total of 6 yards. Let's go into this defense because all the takeaways, man, I feel like that's going to be the highlight. So we got Luke Kelce with 4 solo tackles, 2 assists, so it's a total of 6 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss on 1 pick. AJ Boyd, he actually balled out for the Jags, man. 5 solo tackles, 1 assist. Let's see. Let's talk about picks real quick. All right, so we got Miles Jack.
He got that's my dog. He got 2 user picks with him. I got 2 users with him.
Yeah, I know somebody that's trying to get Miles Jack on his team, but we'll have to talk about that later. Uh, Two solo tackles, 3 assists, two tackles for a loss, and then 2 interceptions with a total of 4 interception yards. But man, this is a really good game, man. Congratulations on moving on to 5-0. You make it really hard for the AFC South Division, man. So I'm sure we'll see you around in playoffs, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again here in the next couple weeks for another game of the week.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We'll see you later, Peanut Goose.
All right, bro.
Alrighty. Yeah, Peanut Goose, really good user. Them Jags on a hot streak. All right, jumping into the Skins and Eagles game. Washington able to pull out a dub against New England. That's 2 in a row they've lost. They were undefeated. Let's see. Let's check these stats out. 315 yards for Washington, 259 for the Pats. Rushing yards, 108 to 90. Let's look at these. Let's look at these turnovers. Not that many turnovers in this game, man. Not that many turnovers. So, pretty close game. One-score game. Dwayne Haskins, man's been balling out. 235 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Tom Brady with a 39.5 passer rating, 187, 1 TD, and 2 interceptions. Let's go to this. Let's go to these defensive highlights. All right. Free safety Devin McCourtney, 4 solo tackles, 4 assists, total of 8 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and a pick. We got Stephon Gilmore with 4 solos, 1 assist, tackle for a loss, and no picks. Hightower with 5 total tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and no picks. Not a whole lot of picks in this game, so there's not a whole lot of huge highlights, but good game for both these users, man. Looking to see what Skins are going to do. It looks like he made some adjustments. I know he lost a couple of them there for a while, so hopefully that guy's going to be moving on and making moves and continue to do good things. Bills and Titans. Titans able to pull it off 24-17. Scoreless in the first quarter. Titans 422 offensive yards versus 283 in Buffalo. 3 turnovers for the Titans, 1 for the Bills. So 468 to 327 yards. Titans are going to advance up in that AFC South division. That guy's a good user. We haven't really heard from him too much on the Twitter page, but looking forward to seeing what he's got to say in a couple of weeks. Buffalo going to be having to make some adjustments. I know he's lost a couple of close ones, but this is going to be one for the books. So we'll see what he does in week 6. Josh Allen, 116.2 passer rating, 273 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick, a long of 63. Marcus Mariota, 102.9 passer rating, 267 yards, 1 TD, and 2 interceptions. Kevin Byard balling out. 9 tackles, 6 solo, 3 assists, 1 tackle for a loss, and no picks. Darius Slay for Buffalo. 1 solo tackle, 5 assists, 1 pick. You got Micah Hyde with another pick for Buffalo. 3 solo tackles, 1 assist. Really good game, man. Really good game. Tennessee's, like I said last podcast, man, he's one of those users that's not going to get blown out. He's going to give it to you every single time. Jumping into Ravens and Steelers, what has been going on in Baltimore, man? With a team that is stacked like that, they have not been putting up numbers. I know this guy just had a baby girl, so I'm pretty sure that's taking up most of his time. Hopefully, as the season progresses, man, this guy makes some moves because that's too stacked of a team for this man to be coming up short. 369 yards to 238 turnovers for Baltimore. Yeah, it's impossible to win a game with 8 turnovers. Steelers had a couple. They had 4 turnovers. 7 third-down conversions. That's a big one. Steelers really putting on the heat in the fourth quarter. No mercy. 28 points. 28 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to lead out the dub, 51-12. Big Ben. 75.5 passer rating, 249 yards, 5 TDs, and 4 picks with a long of 59. 14 completions. Lamar Jackson. That is gross. 5.8 passer rating, 97 yards, 0 TDs, and 6 picks with a long of 33 and was sacked 7 times. 7 times. Got to figure out a way to isolate Lamar Jackson, get him out in open field. That dude is a game changer. He's going to win you ball games. You just got to figure out how you want to use him. Jumping on the defensive side, TJ Watt, 6 solo tackles, 1 assist, 4 sacks. This man had 4 sacks. Terrell Edmonds, he went ahead and jumped on the sack train too. 7 total tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and 3 sacks, 3 interceptions. Terrell Edmonds, strong safety. That man's out there balling out. Pittsburgh defense played lights out. Got a little highlight here for McPhee. 5 total tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, no picks. You got Patrick with 1 pick, 5 solo tackles. That man don't need no help. Steelers been putting up big numbers, man. This dude's going to be a problem. We'll definitely be seeing him when postseason rolls around. Hopefully, your boy Baltimore is going to be making some moves. Cardinals and Bengals. I was actually really excited for this game. Both teams over here really capable of putting up big yards. Bengals been falling off lately, man. I think this is their second week in a row that they lost. He got on my ass for not shouting out his 99-yard touchdown to that man Ross. But at the same time, man, we got to address the fact that we're putting up 295 yards against 425 and 5 turnovers. So shout out to Ross for that 99 TD, but let's focus on knocking out these turnovers. Good game by these guys. It's still a 2-score game, but like I've said every podcast, man, turnover is going to kill you. Absolutely will kill you. Cardinals going to be moving on. Kyler Murray, 151.4 passer rating, 304 yards in the air, leading up to 4 TDs, along at 85. We got Dalton with a 61.1 passer rating, 270 yards, 1 TD and 5 interceptions, accompanied with 5 sacks. Got to make some moves on that. Mixon, 13 attempts for 73 yards, averaging about 5 yards a carry. And then Edmonds right behind him with 5 carries for 31 yards, averaging for 6.2. Bengals really ain't much of a rushing team, man. He's more of an air it out. I'd be airing it out, too, if I had one of the fastest receivers in the game. Jump on this defensive train. Sidney Jones, 3 solo tackles, 4 assists, 1 pick. Jordan Hicks with 6 tackles and a pick. DeMarcus Lawrence, 7 total tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and 3 sacks. What a performance by Lawrence. That dude is a serious issue. I'm sure he's doing great things for Cincinnati, but good game to both these guys. Looking forward to what they bring to the table next week. Falcons and Texans. Man, this was a crazy one. I actually got the opportunity to watch most of this live stream. Texans had the lead, man, all the way down to the last, I think 15 or 16 seconds in the game, and Atlanta was able to bust a big play down to the 1-yard line and scored, and that was enough to put it away. Total yards, Houston had 350, and Atlanta had 1 more yard than that at 351. But like I say in every podcast, Houston had 3 turnovers versus ATL's 1. Both these guys pretty good users, man. Texans came up really short. I think this is one of the only close games he's played in that he's came up short on. So he's going to be moving up in week 6 to 500. He got a big win over the Chiefs today. Got to fix those turnovers, man. I've looked at the stats today. I think he had at least 5 picks from today's game. So Houston's got to fix that if they're planning on going to the playoffs this year. Jumping into player stats, Taysom Hill, 119.9 passer rating, 214 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick, with 1 interception, along at 55, sacked twice. Deshaun Watson, 105.6 passer rating, 184 yards, 2 TDs, and 3 picks. Deshaun Watson's been throwing picks this season like they're going out of style. Houston's really got to fix that. Jumping to rushing, Le'Veon Bell, 15 carries for 103 yards, averaging about 7 yards a carry with 1 TD. David Johnson, 9 attempts for 40 yards, averaging about 4 yards a carry. Really, really close game. Really close game. It's too bad these guys don't meet up again this season. I'd be really excited to watch that one. Let's talk about this defense for a sec. Bradley Robbie, 6 total tackles, no picks. Derwin James, Big Dick James, 6 total tackles, no picks. Justin Reed, 5 solo tackles with 1 assist, 6 total tackles and a pick. Man, this was a close one. Big close one. Both really good users. Texans just got to make some adjustments, and Falcons seem to be on that hot streak. So let's see if they can't keep it rolling going into Week 6. The Bucks at Saints. Told y'all last week, man, this Nola guy, he's going to come correct every week. He's able to come over the Buccaneers 25-17. Total yards 322 versus 275. Not a whole lot of turnovers. That's what we love to see. Jumping into player stats, Drew Brees, 90.8 passer rating, 73 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick. Jameis Winston, 71.4 passer rating, 1 TD, and 2 picks. Patrick Robertson with 6 tackles, no picks. Demario Davis with 6 tackles, no picks. MJ Stewart Jr., 5 total tackles, no picks. Let's see who got some interceptions this game. Justin Evans, the free safety, 4 tackles and 1 pick. Shaquille Barrett with a total of 4 tackles and 1 pick. Ooh, Alex, I don't even know how to, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name. Anzalon, 4 total tackles and 2 picks. So, hats off to Saints. You guys deserve a win. They've been fighting all year to get a dub. Looking to roll that over into Week 6. The Bucks got to make some adjustments. I think Tampa Bay was undefeated prior to this game, too. I think they just got popped. So, we'll see what he does going into Week 6. Minnesota at New York, the game of the week for Week 6. Him and the Eagles are going at it right now. Let me see if I can't get a score check on that. Pardon the delay. Let's see what's happening up in Minnesota. 21-38 Eagles lead in the third quarter with 40 seconds left. Vikings, man, this dude, he's putting up some yards, 700 yards against the Giants. 1 turnover apiece, man. That looks like Minnesota just came and balled out on offense. Kirk Cousins, 129.9 passer rating, 427 yards, 5 TDs, 1 pick with a long of 75. Russell Wilson, 82.6 passer rating, 168 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Rolling into the rushing game, Melvin Gordon, 15 attempts for 137 yards, averaging 9.1 yards a carry, 2 TDs. Cohen, 6 attempts for 170 yards, averaged 17.8 yards a carry with 1 TD. Levante David with 7 total tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. Bradley McDoug, 6 total tackles and a half a sack. Half a sack like he had some surgery on his nuts. Oh, half sack. Just so y'all can take a look at these guys so I don't have to go through and explain every single thing. But shout out to the Vikings, man. Let's see if he's going to be able to shut down the Eagles. He's definitely given the Eagles the best competition they've seen all year so far. So we'll see how that game plays out. Bears at Raiders. Bears able to pull it off, man, with a 6-point lead. 562 yards for Chicago versus 267 for Oakland. Like I said every week, turnovers will kill you. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Chicago had 4 turnovers and was still able to pull it off. Raiders kept it down to 1 turnover. Jumping into these stats, Trubisky, 110.2 passer rating, 385 yards, 4 TDs, 4 picks with a long 86. Tyree Jackson, 99.9 passer rating, 274 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Let's see what that ground game is looking like. Mike Davis, 12 attempts for 72 yards, averaging 6 yards a carry. Josh Jacobs, 6 attempts for 25 yards, 4.2 yards a carry, and a TD. Dalvin Cook got moved to Chicago, 9 attempts for 30 yards, 3.3 yards per carry. Dalvin Cook, man, you got to put up bigger numbers than that. I got him in another league of mine. That dude's a dog. But good game, though. I know Raiders is a good user. Like I said last week, hopefully this dude's going to be able to put it together. I really don't even want to talk about this game because this is absolutely embarrassing. Eagles put up 102 points on the Jets. This dude put away 2 Jets user in a 24-hour period. I don't think I've ever seen somebody make 2 users quit in a 24-hour period. 10 turnovers for the Jets. I'm kind of glad this dude's gone anyways. Super, ultra, mega scrub. Carson Wentz for 373 yards and 5 TDs, no picks. Sam Darnold, 222 yards and 10 interceptions. That's going to kill that dude's stats. So Eagles keep flying, so this dude is going to be a serious problem. I just wonder who's going to be able to stop him. We'll have to see what that NFC's got going on over there. They got to make some adjustments. Chargers able to pull up a big win against the Broncos. That's going to bump them up in the division. Los Angeles is going to win 21-3, 216 yards versus 238. But Broncos give up 7 turnovers, and that will absolutely murder you. Phillip Rivers, old man Rivers back at it again, 180 yards, 2 picks. 3 picks and 2 TDs. Drew Lock, yuck. 35.7 passer rating, 162 yards, 7 interceptions with a long of 26. Got to make something happen up in Denver. Packers and Cowboys. Dallas back to their offensive powerhouse ways this week, taking down Green Bay 59-14, 483 yards to 305, 7 turnovers. Dak Prescott, 86.3, 123 yards, 2 TDs, and 3 picks. Dak's had 2 kind of off weeks, but when we switch to this ground game, I bet that's going to compensate. Aaron Rodgers, man, he got yards, 300 yards, but that 50.7 passer rating killed you, bud. 1 TD and 7 picks. Don't be scared to, kick a field goal and give up a drive versus throwing a pick. Yep, here it comes. Hines, 20 attempts, 291 yards, averaging 14.6 yards a carry with 5 TDs. This dude is going to be a X factor by the end of the year for a fact. Jumping into defensive stats. We got Amos Jr., 10 total tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. We got Alexander for 7 total tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. Anthony Brown with 2 picks, 6 tackles. Blake Martinez, total of 5 tackles, no picks. Let's see what these interceptions looking like. Jaron. Sorry about that. I got jacked up. There it is. Zach Brown. He had 3 total tackles and 2 picks. Sean Williams, a strong safety, gets a total of 3 tackles and 2 picks as well. So good job to Dallas, man. They're gonna stay undefeated, and those guys are gonna be a problem for the NFC all season. So I'm really excited for that game and the Eagles game. That's gonna be a good one, I think. Colts and Chiefs. The foreigner loses a close one to Kansas City. Kansas City is able to pull it off 24-17 with 366 yards of offense versus 289. 3 turnovers for the Colts and 0 for the Chiefs. Chiefs have been on a hot streak, man. I don't know what happened in Houston today. They got shut out. Good defense, though. They held Deshaun Watson to, I think, only 1 throwing touchdown. Check the stats for that game. Just looks like in the fourth quarter, man, they kind of fell apart. Pat Mahomes was giving up the ball way too much in that game. Rolling into player stats, Patrick Mahomes, 121.4, 170 yards, 1 TD, no interceptions. Get on you there, sir. Andrew Luck, 191 yards, 0 TDs, and 3 picks. Rolling into that defensive, Kenny Moore, the second, 6 tackles, no picks. We got Damian Wilson, the left outside linebacker, with 5 tackles and 1 pick. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, 3 total tackles and 1 pick. Let's see what this rushing game looked like. Chris Carson, 13 carries for 100 yards, 7.7 yards a carry, 2 TDs. Kenyon Drake in Indianapolis making it happen as well. 7 carries, 47 yards, 6.7 yards a carry, 2 TDs. So Colts is a good user, man. It's just tough that he lives in a completely different continent, and he's not able to schedule games as frequently. But we're gonna keep him around, man. He's a good user, and he makes me laugh with all his little sayings. And the first time in Madden God's history, we have a tie. Cleveland Browns and San Fran get a tie. 383 yards for San Fran versus 344. We got 4 turnovers for San Fran and 5 for Cleveland. Rolling into player stats, Jimmy Garoppolo, 77.2 passer rating, 261 yards, 1 TD, 2 picks. Baker Mayfield, man, sophomore slump, 30.6 passer rating, 229 yards, and no touchdowns with 5 picks. Big Matt, 14 attempts, 56 yards, 4 yards of carry, and no TDs. Derrick Henry making it somewhat manageable for the Browns. He's just got to find himself. 9 attempts for 51 yards, 5.7 yards of carry. My advice to Cleveland, if you're averaging almost 6 yards of carry, I'd say hit Henry up the gut. Nick Chubb also 6 attempts for 24 yards, averaging 4 yards of carry. Did the Kareem Hunt trade hurt Cleveland, or did it make it better? We're going to have to figure out in week 6. So last but not least, we're going to roll into the player of the week. For the NFC, you got Hines, 20 carries, 291 yards, 14.6 yards of carry, 5 TDs. I don't see why he wouldn't get player of the week. The NFC defense, Khalil Mack with 9 tackles and 8 sacks. That is ridiculous. Juju over in the AFC holding it down. 6 receptions, 122 yards, 20.3 yards per reception, and then 4 touchdowns. Edmonds with 7 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. So Pittsburgh gets to tip their hats off and give themselves a pat on the back for getting both AFC players of the week. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is going to conclude the podcast. We'll see y'all again for the recap for week 6.